Case study 30, the Quran burning. We see in this case study that the U.S. goes over to Afghanistan to get terrorist Osama bin Laden, leader of the Al-Qaeda group who was responsible for the 9/11 terrorist attacks. However, before that, we see how U.S. soldiers are trained or were trained by certain organizations before they were fully allowed to go over to Afghanistan to know how to deal with Afghans as well as their religious artifacts. So we see the certain groups that were made were called, I have listed right here, the U.S. Central Command, the Army's Training and Doctrine Commands, Center for Army Lessons Learned, and the U.S. Forces Command. All these organizations were made to inform U.S. troops on how to effectively communicate as well as interact with Afghans and civilians, as well as other soldiers who were over there, even though there were not much communicating with other soldiers that were from Afghanistan. However, really the conflict comes when the burning of the Quran happens. But this wasn't the first incident. Earlier in 2005, a Florida pastor, it erupted big around the world when a Florida pastor burned the Quran in the middle of his sermon during church. And this kind of led into the explosion of hatred towards the U.S. But it didn't stop here. When the U.S. got over to Afghanistan, getting rid of all the library material, they started to get rid of all of the library material by burning it, but not knowing of how religious and how to deal with the religious artifacts that they were given, even though that they were taught how to deal with certain artifacts. In this case study, you see how Obama, he gets involved much later. It'll be February 23rd when he gets involved, but me personally, I feel like he should have got involved earlier. But after the Quran burn, after the burning of the Qurans, the U.S. leader and troops, who was that again? I'm sorry. Excuse me. Yeah. Right here. General John Allen, he issued an investigation and a sincere apology to the Afghan president as well, explaining that he had no clue that his troops were actually burning religious artifacts of theirs, and they did not have any intent of, and says that it had really any intent or any, what's the word I'm looking for, any malicious intent on their mind, just to deface religious artifacts and religious property. However, that doesn't stop the fact that they did. But later we see as more and more programs were being brought along, such as they had to make PowerPoints as well. There was more organizations to show people how to actually deal with Afghans as well as their religious artifacts. But later comes the Obama apology, as well as the written apology and the written letter that he apologized to the president of Afghanistan. I feel like this could have came a lot earlier, especially when it happened earlier in 2005 with the Florida case of the pastor burning the Quran in the middle of his church in front of people that already caused an outbreak of violence. And that always caused an outbreak of violence. Every time the burning of Quran always started an outbreak of violence, and it resulted in more deaths of Afghans than U.S. troops. So with this with this being done, General Allen, he made many different changes as well. When he investigated, he started to they conducted a press briefing, where the U.S. Department conducted a press briefing to see how they were going to deal with the situation. Sorry, got that part. Yeah, but yes. Me personally, I feel like the communication level could have been a lot better with the Afghanistan people, because even if, when you go into someone else's country, you have to abide by their rules, even though you're going over there to commit basically killing someone who has wronged the U.S. However, a terrorist who has attacked the U.S. But but yeah, my biggest thing with this was, I feel that President Obama should have got involved a lot earlier in the situation. Maybe this could have been stopped. Or the training could have been better for the troops before they went over there by General Allen, just to show that they know how to communicate and how to deal with certain religious ideas, as well as artifacts such as the Quran, which is their Bible over there. So I feel like President Obama could have reacted a little bit faster to the situations in Florida, and starting with Florida, because that led an outbreak. But it led to the death of 17. It led to the death of 17 Afghans, and so the death of any Afghan, like, even if they're not American, that's still a problem for the U.S. Even if the U.S. commits that crime, or that killing of civilians, as well as military. However, President Obama released an apology, but the damage was already done. So me personally, definitely, I would have acknowledged it a lot sooner, and I would have made programs such as like they did, to ensure that the troops got the proper training before they went over there into Afghanistan to retrieve Osama bin Laden. This could have been better programs in the beginning of better programs and during their training, or more attention to detail during their training, could have caused them the less deaths, because this was considered the longest war in U.S. history, with nearly 30,000 deaths. So nearly 30,000 deaths. So 30,000 deaths. So President Obama, with the burning of the Quran, this really sparked a whole new flame and started to add more and more, like, fuel to the fire, to where Afghans felt as if we were just culturally unaware of how the Quran, or how much the Quran meant to them and their people. And so that's the only thing. That's what I would have did different. So thanks.